Started. We are live now. I'm going to show everyone how to clean up their inbox. I'm just going to give everyone a couple minutes so that we can get this show on the road. All right, so I'm going to jump into this real quick. I would go live PM, and it's 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it is a couple minutes afterwards. So I'm not going to wait around, and then we'll get started so that we can get this show on the road. But I'm excited. I haven't gone live for quite it's been about 2 years, and I'm going to be doing this more consistently and teaching on different concepts and ideas so that you can learn how to continually create conversations, use AI to the best of your ability, and we'll get this started. So, quick introduction for those that are listening. My name is Nathan Klug. I've been in the small business world for the past 20 years. And I'm going to take a step out for a second, just so everyone knows this is my first time going live using Restream. So give some grace if there's some technical errors and things like that. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 20 years, and I've been absolutely stoked about what AI can do for everyone. So this is why, for me, going over this stuff is super helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through how to use Manus to clean up your inbox. This technically can apply to Outlook as well, but I'm mainly going to do this for Google Workspace just because that's the environment that I know and I understand how it works. So on that note, I'm going to jump into it. And then if there's any questions, throw them in the chat, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to do one quick test to make sure that everything's working and that my live stream is actually correct. It is. All right, so we are live. Good. Just wanted to check. All right, so here we go. I will do this walkthrough, and I'm going to start this from scratch. I'm not going to give you a pre-built prompt. I'm going to walk you through an exact process to show you how this works so that you can also see how to think about it as well. So again, the focus of today is how to use Manus to clean up your inbox. And so the first thing that you want to do, this can apply to Outlook. Right now, it's mainly going to be for Google Workspace because that's the environment that I know best and that I'm in. But I will walk you through step by step how to have Manus do this. For anyone that does not have a Manus link for whatever reason, I'm going to throw this in the chat. Let's see if this works. I know this won't go to every channel, but for those that are on YouTube or anything like that, you should be able to see it and grab that link, and I'll post it later so that you can get some 500 free credits to play around with this with. All right, so step number one for this to be able to work is that you have to connect Manus with your Google Workspace. So the easy way to do that, there's a bunch of different ways you can, but if you go down here, when you first set this up, you won't see anything here. Just say connect apps. You click on this and you hit add connectors. And then you can just type in Gmail and then click this button. And it'll walk you through the process. I've already done it, but all it's going to ask you to do basically is log in and confirm that you want to integrate your Gmail, and it'll have you choose which account and things like that you want to integrate into the system. So that's number one step. This will not work if you don't do that. So once you have that done, now we're going to work on, now I don't care what your inbox looks like. It could be a total mess. You can have thousands and thousands of emails. I will do an example of one of my inboxes. I have quite a few. So that you can see what that looks like and how it cleans things up. I'm going to show you that live. But the way this works is first we have to come up with a prompt that actually makes sense to use. So let's think about that. And I'm going to use the voice input so that I can actually get it more accurate. And I like talking things through with the AI rather than typing it out. Another thing to note for everyone is in Manus right now, if you download the computer version of Manus and use it, the computer version costs 50% less credits than the browser version. So I would definitely use that, the computer version to run any of this so that you can save yourself some credits. So here we go. I want to create a process and a prompt for cleaning my inbox. I want to make sure that I keep important emails in the inbox. I want to create categories and labels, such as for marketing and promotions. I also want an urgent category of things that I need to understand. And last, to have a category and a label for any type of email that I need to respond to. So let's create the prompt that would be able to do that, and let's refine that so that it's doing all the right things. One thing that I'd like you to copy, because I've used it before, is there's a platform called Fixer that had a bunch of different labels. I'd like to do something similar with what we're doing here. So go ahead and create the prompt, and then we'll analyze that and make sure it's doing everything that it needs to keep a clean inbox. So that's all it is. Like I said, just we are not getting fancy with this. Do not overthink this. And then we'll run this and we'll see what it comes back with. In the meantime, while we're doing this, the reason that I'm going through this right now is that last week, Manus gave a huge update to its Google Workspace integration. And so that's why I'm running this now. And you know what? One thing also, really quick, up here is where you get to choose the different versions. For some of the stuff that I've been doing, I use this, but I'm going to switch over to the light version because this is light work, so I can use even less credits than I need to. But they did a huge update to their Google Workspace last week. And now it can be more surgical in how it does things within your Drive, within your email, within your calendar, and things like that. So this is, it's really exciting to see all the stuff they can do. And this is a very valuable thing because I know that we're missing that we should respond to information. And I know we get tons of promotional emails, and sometimes we just leave them. Some of those promotional emails we want. So we can even get more specific about the prompt that we want to create so that it understands the task that it needs to do. And actually, I'm going to add a couple things that I'm thinking about this even right now so that when we do this, right now, the first task is to clean the inbox. The next task would be to keep it clean. And then we can run a recurring task to be able to make that happen. So if you wanted to, you can run this like once a month and it just automatically run, and you don't have to create another prompt a month later or anything like that. You can have it run once a month so that you have a clean inbox at the end of the month, basically. So let's see the prompt that it comes up with. It should be almost done. We're on stage 4, as you can see. And like I said, right now we're just creating the prompt. We can have it go do the thing right away, but I want to show you what it looks like of what it's building. So here is what it built. Here's the labels that it's going to create. So urgent, needs response, follow-up, FYIs, marketing, promotions, notifications, archives. So I've used a system like Fixer before, which does almost pretty much close to this. Categories, there's a couple categories that are different. And it was really helpful, but with AI, you can do all that right now. And you don't have to pay another tool to be able to make that happen. All right, so AI prompt. So this is the prompt, great. Okay, so it gives me everything from start to finish of what the goal is, the implementation plan. There's one other thing that I'm going to add, and then we're actually going to have it go do this, and we're going to see how it turns out. one thing to add right now is that, yes, this is a great prompt for us to be able to start with, and to keep an inbox clean. Right now, I want you to understand that my inbox right now is a crazy mess. So what I'd like you to do is also understand how to categorize things, and don't delete any emails right now. Anything that you think should be deleted as you look through the inbox, let's put that into a separate category, and then I'll look through it to make sure that those emails can be deleted, and then I can easily delete all of them. So that'll be the last thing to think about. Again, don't run the task yet, but I want you to understand that piece. So I know, like, just 2-3 years ago, like, doing something like this, we had to become prompt masters. I would say right now that for prompting, AI actually can prompt a lot better than most of us. So being able to talk back and forth with it and tell it what you want to do and what you want it to understand um, is a lot easier now than it was just a couple years ago. Okay, so now we have that piece. All right, so now I'm going to actually have it run this. So we'll make sure, always make sure that if you're going to run something and you want to do it, make sure that the integration is live. So because I can turn off integrations, things like that. So I can take it out of that sandbox basically. But that's all good to go. So now we're going to go tell it to do exactly that. All right, that looks great. Actually go do this. Clean up my inbox, the inbox that I have connected, and then let me know when you're done and what you've finished, what you've completed. All right. So that is finished. We now have Manus should be going to do that task. This I consider to be a light task. This is not crazy. It's not creating images and things like that. So I'm going to stay on the light version so I don't have to use as many credits. And again, as I'm going through this, if anybody has any questions, let me know. It's very easy to use. And like I said, it's already connected through the Gmail MCP server. And that's all the integration you have to do. Like, it's not hard. There's not connector pieces. You don't have to figure out APIs and stuff like that. And having a clean inbox, man, that feels really nice. And I've been trying to keep a clean inbox and organized for a long time. I do not do a great job with it, honestly. So having AI run this and actually clean that inbox for me is super important. So, all right, really quick, let's see if anybody that's watching this live right now, how many open emails do you have in your inbox right now? I'd be curious. I can tell you one of them from one of my emails. It's not pretty, but I mean, I've seen a lot worse. So mine, I have one that has, I think, about 9,000 unread open emails. So like I said, that's a great example. That's what I'm going to tackle next. I tested this out on a smaller Gmail account previously. And then and it worked really, really well because I wanted to make sure that this ran. And then what we'll do, like I said, is I'll switch over into that account and you actually get to see what it looks like and all the stuff that it cleaned up. Let's see. All right, so it's going to do a little work. And like I said, this is not even taking tons and tons of time. I should have told it to look, like I said, we'll see if it actually, I forgot to ask it to look back at old emails, and give it a certain date that it goes back to. So you can make it be very specific on what it's trying to accomplish and do. And let's see. So task complete. So let's see what it's done. For the first 50 emails. So that's what it did on the first 50 emails. So it categorized everything. And Let's see. All right, so I'm going to flip over real quick. I'll show you kind of what it did. Now, I'm going to show you. So this is my inbox. Just so you know, these ones that are in bold, I did not create. It created these labels for me. So FYIs, marketing tab, meeting updates, these were all not here beforehand. Receipts and invoices, sales stuff, support, and then, I mean, now I can see, so from a category standpoint, there's some stuff that's in here, like to respond, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more specific about what it is to respond. So for example, like, this is a conference that is at, this is not a response. This is not something I should respond to. So I can go back in and we'll teach it a little bit more about what to do on that side. But it already cleaned up the first 51 and it gave them all labels basically. So as simple as that. So I'm going to actually have it do something, and you can see how this works as well. That's great that you did it for the first 50. I actually want you to go in here and delete a couple emails. So let's delete the last 5 emails in the marketing tab. So delete those out of the system completely, and then let me know when you're done. All right, so again, this is just an example of the things that it can do. And then so we're just testing this out. So this is why, like, Manus is super powerful. It's one of my favorite AI platforms. My only one that beats this is BrandPod, but for completely different reasons. I absolutely love the owners, and I love the vision of where it's going. I use it all the time. But for Manus, this is a workhorse. You can connect it to high level. You can connect it to a lot of other platforms, and it makes the work that you're trying to do a lot easier. Oops. So let's go back here, and we're going to see. So here's the marketing tab. It doesn't look like it did it, so let's double check that. Oh, it deleted the 5 most recent. So let's see if I can be specific, because I want to show you it deleting the, and some of the stuff I'm playing around with right now. So this is part of using AI in ways that you want to, is just thinking of what you can do. We need to switch from being the workhorse to being the architect. So let's give it a different prompt. Delete the lovable email that was sent at 1:01 today, and only delete that one. So we're checking to see if now if it can be surgical with what it's doing as well. So I'm not going to stay on too much longer. I wanted to walk through this of, hey, it's super easy to connect, like you saw that, and then it's just using your imagination to think of what you want it to do. So let's see if it actually accomplished it. And yep, there it goes. So now I'm curious. So I'm just checking something really quick to make sure that the integration is correct and I'm not looking at the wrong email or anything like that. Because I was playing out with another email previously. It organized everything correctly. So I'm wondering if it can delete something. We'll run that test one more time. All right, let's see. Can you double check that? I just looked into the Google Workspace, and it looks like that email is still there. Again, this is the lovable email that was sent at 1:01 p.m. I'll even give you the link for it as well. It was sent 1 hour ago. Actually, I won't give you the link, but it does not look like that's in the trash. So can you confirm that? Also, real quick, confirm that you can actually delete emails. All right, there we go. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show before we jump off this then is then how to create this as a recurring task. So if you had something where you wanted to go in and check your email on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, a monthly basis, then you can set that up. So I'll show you what that looks like and how you can manage that. But cleaning up your inbox is super important. Like already from what it did of categorizing the emails so that now I have, because it labeled all of them and put it in those categories. Now I can go in and check that and I can have it do it for as many emails as I want. Right now it only did the first 50, but I can have it do many of the other ones. Got it. So let's see if it actually did what I asked it to do. Okay, so that is now in there. So here is what it looks like. There it is. So that email is now in the trash. So I deleted it. So I can have this clean up the whole inbox. The last thing I want to show real quick is how to set up a recurring task. I want to set up a recurring task for this. I want this to run on the first day of each month and have that running forever. First day of each month, do everything that we just talked about, add the label, put them and add the labels so that I can organize it. Don't delete anything. Anything that you think should be deleted, put into one of the labels as well. One other note that I saw also is that when in the to respond category, we need to analyze it a little bit more. There's a lot of just notifications and updates and things like that, or promotional information that doesn't need to be responded to. So let's double check that piece as well. Okay. So what it's going to do, I mean, it's going to double check a few things because I gave it a few prompts to be able to do. So what it just brought up here is this isn't a skill. Let me double check. I forgot actually what they called this. So hold on one second. Knowledge base. That's what it is. So this is the knowledge base. So this can be added to globally for checking things out. And if I wanted, I can accept that. So basically, that knowledge base is saying to run this on a regular basis. I don't need it for this because I've already given it in the explanation. What you want to do though is it's going to run it in this task. So you don't want to delete this task out. You can have it run now. You can have it pause. You can view all the schedules. You can edit. But right now, it's already created. It's running on the first month at 9 o'clock. And these are all the connectors that I have available. Technically, I don't need them. All I need is the Gmail one. And then I can actually have it on what category I want. I would consider this to be a light task, so it doesn't need to be doing a whole lot. But that's how you set up a recurring task. And then if you want to, you can save that task in the future and hit favorites. So that way you don't have to go find it or anything like that or search for it. And then you might want to rename it as well to go in there. So that's how to use Manus to to clean up your inbox. Very simple. Connect your inbox with Manus by doing the connectors. Talk with Manus then about what you want it to do. You can even ask it, like I had a little bit of understanding of what I want the labels to look like, but you can ask it and say, hey, what is the best labels to have in my inbox so I can keep it clean? So you can go back and do that. Once you have that done, then you ask it to run it. And right now, it automatically ran it on just 50, but you can tell it to run it on as many as you want to. My big recommendation is at the beginning. Don't have it Manus put anything in the trash. Just have a label for it so that you can review it. Because the next step that you want to do is just like I did. I refined it a little bit more. You want to check the labels that it's putting on and then give it a little bit more instructions about thinking about, analyze that email a little bit differently so that it puts it in the right category. So like my respond category was a perfect example. There was messages in my respond category that didn't need to be responded to. They were more informational or promotional. With that said, though, I'm going to start going live I'm going to go live at 10 a.m. Every other week. So I'll do it twice a month. So the next live that I'll do is going to be in 2 weeks. And I'll let everyone know what the topic is as we go out. But mark it on your calendar if you want to learn some more things about AI and about creating better conversations. That's going to be one of my main focuses. Is my tagline, the thing that I talk about is how I create systems to turn contacts into conversations so that you can turn conversations into relationships, because relationships is where you make sales. So with that said, everyone make it a great day. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, share it, like it, make a comment. Would love to hear your feedback on how to be able to go about doing that. With that said, I'll talk to y'all later.